Hi, welcome to today's show, and it's called What If There Is a Hotkey to a Man's Purpose on December 26, 2025.
The day after Xmas, which is like a short form of the commercialization of Christmas when they write Xmas. So you don't have to write it out because people are so lazy nowadays, or they're, as they would say, they're in a hurry. So X does mark the spot, so that's kind of what Christmas is. But that was yesterday, and today is the next day, so December 26th. So we'll start by looking for a hotkey by looking at the numbers. So there's only 9 of them, and it's 3 sets of numbers of 3 each number. 3 sets of 3 numbers. So a lot of people like to call that the Enneagram. All different philosophies and religions like to claim it. But we own it. All of us people. We're the ones that use it. So it belongs to the people. And in ancient times, which wasn't that long ago, it was called Latin, Roman, Greco times. The numbers were written differently. And the first 3 numbers were unified because they were written I for 1, I for 2, and I for 3. So everyone is an assembly of 3 I's because they're born from a mother and a father, and of course there's yourself there. So that's the third. You're the third after the mother and the father. So this is why the first 3 are unified. And then things change after that. So we'll talk about that someday, but let's use that as a scale for today's date. So today is 1-2 for December, and then it's 2-6 for the day. So the true identity would be I, 6. So what we basically have is 1-6. So in our alphabet, in the countable numbers, because we don't count J, that would be the letter Q, which is kind of like an intervention because you have a perfect circle or an egg shape, depending on how you look at the Q. And then there's an intervention in the southeast corner where the sun comes up every morning. So it's kind of like the start of a new day is getting imposed on out of your sleep and resurrecting out of your replication mode that you were in while you were sleeping. So this is one of the ways is just through observation of the sequences in the numbers, we can see these things add up and compare them to our speech, the letters, the alphabet. Anyway, this is a Christmas present to Ariel and Oriole. They're the AO. At least it's one way to recognize the AO. And this is on Xmas, December 26, 2025. And it's happening at X, marks the spot. Now, Ariel is a unisex name in Hebrew Greek that means Lion of God. And it's often associated with strength and divine protection. And Oriole, on the other hand, is a gallery or an audience member of minstrels. Now, let's move on and talk about the Lu. What is the Lu?
What station or Lu am I in? And what station or Lu am I progressing to? Sh added to Lu makes loosh, which is emotional energy and the exchanging of it, or EEE, which is numerically 555 for emotional energy exchange, where all realities are created. The sh is the moving energetic air which holds everything of ethereal nature. The air is the hotkey.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, let's explore the hotkey a little bit. A hotkey has to be considered. In other words, you have to point your nose toward it. Think about it. So a hotkey has to be considered. And then you have to press. You have to do that thing called press. So you have to press a button. In order to have a hotkey do anything, you have to press a button. So you have to consider it, and then you have to press. It's in that order for the task to start and to be underway. And the word press is a combination of PR and S. That means perfection, repeating, and manifested, plus the S, which means the thought before the form.
The hotkey has a traditional meaning and role in the keyboard world of computing and data processing within the realms of IT, or information technology. However, it also spells the word it. And Information, when parsed, makes the phrase and sounds of information, which would be if.
You know what? I think you just X'd it. And it's funny how if you put the letter X, a space, and then it, and then say it slow, it's X it. And then if you say it fast, it's exit. So when you target something and make it, is that the exit of the path to the goal? Or are you like leaving the arena? So it has multiple meanings, and it's up to the user to decide. It's basically how it works. So a hotkey isn't one key. It's a range of keys that gives shortcuts to tasks and gives a quicker, less stressful journey to getting that goal. And of course, the tasks that have to be done. These tasks are more efficiently done when they're entangled with accuracy. And then you avoid unnecessary targeting and do-overs.
So in Windows, the F1 makes the sound F plus 1, or fun when combined, and is the default help key in most of the apps. A hotkey is a specific key or a combination of keys on a keyboard to empower the user. So the word keyboard is key plus board. It represents the human condition, spelled with a K, as well as where the board is, the environment of the human and around the human and the user. The human is the key. So human condition is HK and is used to properly represent the sound of condition. Human constructs with a K, HK, come from the mind and mentality of the brain functions and their undefinable power source.
So this cool environment that's hot sometimes, called the human K condition, can be seen in the lyrics of Hotel K California Cation. So it's the hotel where all kinds of pretty boys and devices are at your disposal, and they can keep you entrapped, so to speak, a song by the Eagles in the 1970s. But they're constructs. They're human constructs. And they expose the hotkeys to man's purpose, which is completion of the meaning behind where he finds himself, the human condition.
The word acronym means accurate name when a phrase, word, or idea is reduced to a base form. Hotkey and the other HK associations each reduced to 8-1 in digit or sequence form. 8-1 reduces to 8, the highest digit or symbol to represent mankind and its journey as a species and as independent entities.
So that's really woo-woo with like the 81 and basing it to 8 and everything like that. So like all those things, the hotkey, the human constructs, the human condition, it's all 8. Is that why they scare us with 7, 8, 9? So what's the 8 really? I'll give you a hint before we move on to the next part of the show. It has a value of 4 in the bubble on the top and a value of 4 on the bubble on the bottom. If you ride it like a race car, one side of the track is right to left and the other side rides left to right. But these two contentious sides have a common: the infinitesimal crossing point of the X in the center of the 8. So this makes the value of 8 144.
And now we're going to look at the meme that's been going around called the Schizo's Journey.
The Schizo's Journey?
Yeah.
Well, that's SJ, which is the acronym for South Jersey. Like, that's where I'm from, South Jersey. Oh, don't tell anybody about that. So, Schizo's Journey, we're going to have a little look at this meme. So, what's it all about? So, first of all, disclaimer: life is a gamble, which is the long way of saying gamble. And this G, amble, is actually the 7 amble. It's the entrance to the final triune of the 1 through 9 scale, where you land at 7 to meet 8 and 9. So that's why life is a gamble, and it's the 7 amble. And we broke the code, but there's more. So please ask. So the image that you're looking at is a diagram called the Schizo's Journey. and it maps the experience of living with quote-unquote schizophrenia. And it's using a Joseph Campbell theory, or it's called the hero's journey. And of course, the pictures are the Wojaks to illustrate the different stages.
The diagram visually represents the challenging path from initial symptoms and diagnosis to finding coping mechanisms and a fulfilling life. It uses a circular flow divided into numbered stages, such as mundane world is 0, call to adventure is 1, refusal of the call 2, and the ultimate boon, which was 11 or 1-1, we would say.
So we'll have to give another disclaimer here. The reason that this manual seems inverted is because it is. So your intuition was correct. The call to the mundane world is the call to success, victory, and completion. Because without the task being done on your path, you'll never get to the goal and you'll have to start over again. And this silly meme ends at 18 as the final frontier, and that's the letter S that spins forever. So what they said the final achievement of success of fulfillment is that there would be no self left or no lack of self. And there would be no other and no non-other, whatever that's supposed to mean. So this is observably false, and numbering it at 18 is observably false. And it rejects the unique personification of a woman or man and their reunification. And this false notion leads to hating the self and all things, including the imaginary persona, quote unquote, God that the user has created in their mind. In a word, schizophrenic.
The answer is in the problem. Claim your birthright and reunify with an intimate partner to cause the knowing of thyself. Each stage is
In this
meeting. So each stage is accompanied by a short description and a character expressing the typical feelings or thoughts associated with that phase. The diagram aims to help individuals with schizophrenia or their caregivers understand and navigate the mental health journey, offering a perspective of resilience and hope. So we have a link to a YouTuber's expose on this theory.
So what'll happen is you'll get to about the 25 or 30 yard line if you were playing football, if you listen carefully to the YouTuber's expose. But if you want a hotkey, what you basically want to do is consider the entire meme inverted and everything misvalued from the back to the front. So you literally start out from nothing, and then you become a unique persona that embraces your material and ethereal self, and you work your way up to adventure and pathways and successions and processions and conclusions and completions to fulfill your obligation of appreciation and humility.
This next part is called Where is this place? This loo, this location. Well, a loo is a location or a place. And the F plus ire is the cause of the environment and the life forms. The F is the digamma and the 6. It means 6 and sex, the spiral of never-ending death cycles. Want the K odes? It's free.
I want your loo and your shh. I want your loosh. Your loo and meaning is your rank or your station. The shh is the energetic air, the ether, where your thoughts lay and your memories, and the ethereal. And melo means the mediator's place or location.
Thought reduces to G, which is a C, the child, but with a lectern or desk attached. The G is value of 7. The causes of thoughts are speech, language, symbols, sounds, relationships, air, aura, pneuma, ruach, spirit, essence, God's ideas. Latin is a literal language, and in Latin, idea means from the power and intelligence of God. In those times, the word genius meant the God spark genius that operates and maintains each life form. So genius was attached to God's expressions of life forms. They were not shy back then to acknowledge the obvious presence of an all-powerful and intelligent force that powers and maintains our plasmic reality and life itself and all the stories. They never thought of God as a personality or a judge outside of observable natural orders.
Do all men want to be the king of wisdom all by themselves? Think of the tortoise hare story. The acronym is TH. TH is think. TH is thoughts and the brain, and it reduces in digits, TH that is, to 98, and those words spelled out 98 is NE, or nil, nothing. HT, on the other hand, is what you're holding on top of your body, the hat of your body, the HT. The head reduces, the hat reduces to HT and 89, the correct order. And those words spelled out are EN, which is the child's number and the child's letter. It's the EN game, the end game. Use what's in your head to complete the game of thinking.
What is this energy that emanates from all the people? The torus of anatomy matches the torus of the earth.
The torus field, if you look at it scientifically, is a figure 8 and an S, and both are moving. This reverse S, and to the right of the S that we use in common language, when merged, they make the 8. So it's an S and an 8 on the move. The reverse S is used today in many alphabets and languages, and it's often considered as 2, or the fallen, or number 2 after 1. In China, the Zhuang alphabet used it from the early 50s to 1986, when they changed their reverse S to a Z. And in their culture, they became more angled or angular, opposed to their former angelic motherly way of seeing things.
The reverse S was used as a fractional Roman numeral, standing for the fraction 1/72nd, 1 of the 72nd.
72.
Yeah, 72. 1 of the 72.
Yeah, of course, that's the 72 angels
Yeah.
that are of the air and the 27 angels that are of the earth. And then, of course, there's one left, and that would be the mediator. So let's just leave it at that for now.
The pairing of 7-2 is in dissension, yielding to 5. 5 is the central figure and the mediator in the 1 to 9 digital scale, seen here at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, FIVE, then 6, 7, 8, 9. This next part is called Let's Take a Quick Tour Down the Path of Genesis.
The path of Genesis. So not in the reading of the scriptures, but in the word. So Genesis is gen plus is, or the generating of 2 U's, the double U. That's why they use that number, 322, and they show it to you openly. It's public, because they want you to see it. You can ask me or the bushes, whichever you think is a better way to get the truth. The double U is trapped plainly in sight, right in the center of the word two, T-O. And that's how 2 is spelled, with a silent but obvious W in the center. So 2 is also going somewhere, or it's on the move, and so is number 2. It means toward, T-O does, but toward means 2 plus ward, which is your containment. And if you want your freedom, you'll have to earn it. The analemma is plainly displayed within the dilemma. The root DI means 1 to 2.
Lemma means to seize, to take. Ward and word, the variance is AO. Word, ward,
Ward.
sorry, ward. Weird, wired. Word, ward, weird, wired. All based to WRD, and that's 7-4 based, and that's GD. You, from the observer's perspective, see 9 on the right and 6 on the left. The thing you are observing is observing you, and its perspective is exactly opposed as the observed sees 9 from the left and 6 from the right.
It's just like when you look at someone, you see them right to left and they see you left to right. So together you have a mutual perspective.
Similar to a ride through the symbol 8, the 8-ball track of love, a natural order, where one side is the left to right path and the other is the opposite. However, they share a common ground at the axis, the infinitesimal center, the crossing point at the center of the 8, the W plus 8. It equals we, W-E, and that's pronounced in French, oui. That means yes, the Y plus S. The path of spirit or spirituality is written into the sequences of tones and speech, digits and letters as a roadmap, but until you are ready to seize it, you will remain in the audience, patiently or impatiently, taking it all in.
The Lord God is LG as an acronym, and that's 17 in digits, or the letter R, meaning a thing, a manifestation, a repeating and a returning. And it's also a material form of ethereal power. Obvious and oblivious are both paths of progression. The LI is the variance. Who likes their prison? Or who likes whining over winning? Everything is free and nothing is hidden for the taking or for the asking.
Let's have a look at the word draw, G-R-A-W. The word draw has deep implications. Implication, when parsed, means I am plus ply, which is many, plus ka, which is spread, plus 8, plus ion. When we draw anything, we draw the inspiration from our ethereal self, or other names such as our emotion, our experiences, and our intuition. This word draw sounds like drama, but it adds ma, meaning land of, inferring that where we live is a place to express ourselves and to pull from within ourselves.